You have been learning English for a while, but you feel like you're not seeing much progress, which makes you feel discouraged and demotivated. Don't worry, today I'll share with you some strategies that you can implement to feel more inspired and motivated when learning English. But first, hi, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Asim. I'm a polyglot. On this channel, we help young people like you speak English fluently and confidently while enjoying the process. So let's dive in. To really understand how motivation works, let's first understand this concept. We take two types of actions in life. Some actions are inspired by our internal reasons. Those are basically our hobbies. Those are the things that we want to do, that we love to do. And other types of actions are inspired by external reasons, the society, our teachers, our parents. Those are the things that society tells us to do. For example, going to school, getting a job, working. Learning a language should be inspired by our internal reasons, meaning we must want to do it, we must love to do it. You can still learn a language if your parent or your teacher is telling you and you don't want it. You can still learn it, but it won't be fun. You will not enjoy the process. You will basically hate it. That's because there are two types of motivations: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation comes from within. It comes from our internal reasons. When we are intrinsically motivated about something, we want to do that thing. We love doing it. For example, I can say I'm intrinsically motivated about art and calligraphy. I just love doing it. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation comes from outside. We do a thing because we think we will get a specific result in return, not necessarily because we like doing that thing. Both of these motivations are great for achieving results in life. When you're doing something, both of these are amazing. But in my opinion, when you are learning a language, intrinsic motivation is the one that you need the most, because if you don't like learning a language, you're gonna give up, you're gonna get bored, it's not gonna be fun. For instance, if you're not interested in learning English, your teacher or your father is telling you to learn English, you can still learn English, but the process of doing it will not be fun. You will not enjoy doing it. That's why now let's discuss some ways you can become intrinsically motivated about learning English or learning basically anything. Usually, we become discouraged and demotivated when learning English because we don't know if the methods we are following are working or not. We don't know if we are making progress or not. This type of uncertainty kills our motivation and desire. With fitness and going to the gym, it's easy because the progress is measurable. You can go to the gym, like you can work out for a month or two. You can compare your pictures with the past pictures that you took, and you can clearly see progress. But with English, it's really difficult because you cannot really measure how many words you know. You cannot really measure exactly how much you've improved. Studies have shown that when you're starting a new habit and you clearly see progress, you clearly see improvements, you will not give up. You will have more motivation and drive to do that thing. On the other hand, if you're starting a habit and you're not seeing clear progress, you don't notice your improvements, then you're gonna give up and you will have no motivation. That's why if you want to have more motivation when learning English, you need to find a way to track your progress, to record your progress. One way of doing that is to record yourself speaking English on a video every single week. You can literally open up the camera of your phone and speak English for 5 to 10 minutes. It's pretty easy to do. You can easily do it every single week. The benefit of doing that is that later on, maybe 3 months later or 6 months later, you can compare your progress. You can look at your last video that you recorded 4 months ago and see how much your English has improved. This will keep you motivated and passionate about learning English because you will clearly see your progress. The most common mistake that English learners make is that they say to themselves, in 3 months, in 6 months, I will become fluent in English. In 10 months, I will get high score in IELTS or TOEFL. The reason why this is a mistake is because we set these goals, we set our expectations, but we forget about those goals. Like a few days later, we forget about them and we never take action. So those goals and results never become true. That's because we set goals the wrong way and therefore we are not motivated to take action. There are two types of goals: result-based goals and action-based goals. If I say, for example, I'll get 1 million subscribers in 2 years, that is a result-based goal. If I say I'll upload 2 videos every single week, that is an action-based goal. Result-based goals are great for knowing which direction you're going. If you don't have a result-based goal, then you kind of take random action which will not take you anywhere in life. The problem with these types of goals is that they're not in our control. If you say you will become fluent in English in the next 30 days, that is not in your control. You might become fluent, you might not. After a month, when you are not fluent in English, you will get discouraged. Personally, I recommend action-based goals because first, they're completely 100% in your control. And second, you can easily measure your progress with them. You can easily know how many times you practiced your speaking this week or how many hours you spent listening. So grab a pen and paper, set some action-based goals. Do them every single day. Do them every single week. Do things that will lead you to your big goal. This is the best way to get motivated and stay motivated. Have you ever noticed that you don't need motivation to watch Money Heist on Netflix? You don't need motivation to watch random reels on Instagram, but you need motivation to learn English. Isn't that strange? It could be because you're learning English the wrong way. Learning English doesn't have to be like school. Sadly, a lot of people treat learning English like school. They say, oh, I have to learn English. I need to learn English. Oh, I gotta do this thing. Change your language from, oh, I have to do this. I must do this, to, I get to do this. I get to learn English. I get to listen to English. I get to practice. Treat English learning like a hobby. If you're enjoying something, it doesn't feel like work. It's not difficult because you're having fun. So make English learning fun. Here are some ways you can make English learning more interesting and more enjoyable. First, make friends and practice with them. Instead of practicing your English with Siri or ChatGPT, make some real friends and speak English with them. It's much more fun. Second, watch some interesting TV shows. The thing about learning English is that you have so many options. If you don't like podcasts, watch movies. If you don't like movies, watch TV shows. If you don't like TV shows, watch animes. That's the beauty of learning English. So choose something that you enjoy watching and listening to. I would recommend watching TV shows because they're more enjoyable. Here are some I would recommend. The first one is Friends. Of course, like I'm a huge Friends fan. I've watched it. I'm currently watching it the second time. I watched it the first time like last year and now I have begun watching it again because it's so amazing. The second one is Money Heist. Of course, it's a good one. I kind of like it. I'm not super excited and passionate about it, but it's, enjoyable and kind of interesting. The third one is Wednesday. I really enjoyed that one. Like I watched it I think last year and it was kind of fun. The third one is don't read boring newspapers. I don't know why a lot of English learners think that if they read newspapers, they will get the latest vocabulary or their English will improve very fast. I don't know if there's a thing or not, but if newspapers are boring for you, don't read them. Just don't read them at all. Instead, you can read some novels or self-help books. These are the things I would recommend instead of reading boring newspapers. If you genuinely like reading newspapers, then sure, go ahead and read them. But personally, I don't enjoy reading newspapers. Instead, I read self-help books. That's it for today's lesson. Now that you're motivated to learn English, the next thing you need is a step-by-step system that you can follow to become fluent in English fast. For that, you can watch this video in which I shared the secrets to learning English. Okay, I hope this lesson was helpful. See you in the next one.